Rock spinning through space. Welcome to the fucking news. What the papers say with me, D. Jackson, on the 10th of March, 2025. How you doing? I'm fucking great. I hope you are too. I've got a cup of oppression and torture, and I'm smoking some slaves in the field. Later on, I'm going to throw my coffee cup out the window and misgender some wildlife. How about you? It's been a minute, hasn't it, YouTube? This is streaming to YouTube if you're watching this later on Facebook. It's been a minute because this channel, fucking Newz, was banned for the entire term of the Biden presidency. I shit you not. Check it out. Literally to the day. It was a day either side, but uncannily, this channel was banned when Biden was elected, and then it was unbanned when he was ejected. And so here we are. I'm back. I can stream on my phone. It's great. I love streaming on my phone as opposed to, my laptop, which is a bit bulky. So what the fucking papers say. Apparently, there's a lot of fiery stuff going on in the world about war. And somebody was telling me recently, because I posted a video about how I sent money to Ukraine to annoy Vladimir Putin, that I was funding evil, and that Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, was going to conscript me, along with many other people in Britain, to go and fight Russia in Ukraine. Dude, I'm fucking 60. If we're conscripting people like me, we're in big fucking trouble. Not only am I 60, but I have oppositional defiance disorder. Look it up. Essentially, it means fuck you. I'm not doing that. Fuck you. That's what oppositional defiance disorder means. But on a lighter note, so how will we be going to war? I thought we had. I mean, I don't think we have. I know we have. We have about £2 trillion worth of nuclear submarines, and we're building more. I used to work in the dockyard in Rosyth where they stationed the submarines, but they moved them to Devonport, something to do with the SNP, I don't know. But yeah, Britain, along with the other permanent members of the Security Council, no coincidence this, but Britain, along with the other permanent members of the Security Council, has nuclear submarines. The kind that have nuclear missiles and that can stay submerged for a year and pop up anywhere in the world and launch nuclear death on you from anywhere to anywhere else on the planet. So I guess my question is, are you saying the nukes don't work? If they don't work, how about we fucking sell them? Because obviously they're fucking pointless. If there's going to be war, oh no, there's going to be a war. We'll have to conscript people to go. Why would we conscript people to go and fight in Ukraine when we could just do a big reveal? We could have a curtain, and here's Trident. So okay, Putin, now back in the fucking box, or any other fucking crass bully dictator on earth. Z, take a look, check it out. We've all got these. They're supposed to ensure peace, aren't they? They're supposed to be a deterrent. Well, they are and they aren't. So, if they're not going to work, if they're not a deterrent, I propose, I'm not a fan of the SNP, the Scottish National Party. They want to get rid of Britain's nuclear deterrent because they say it costs too much and it doesn't work. And on the face of it, I'm warming to that suggestion since there's talk of us, when I say talk, I mean not from the government. The government hasn't proposed any conscription yet. But if it does, I'm pretty fucking sure they won't conscript 60-year-old stoner guitar players. So I'm not too worried. But let's just consider exactly what would happen if we needed this deterrent in light of the following, right? Donald Trump's regime turned off the F-16s that were sent to Ukraine. They just disabled them. Actually, they disabled the radar that they rely upon for targeting. So although they didn't disable the planes are fucking useless now. And Germany is about to buy, I think, about 30 F-35s, the world's most advanced fighter bomber jet. But it turns out that America can turn them off as well. So if America didn't like who Germany was planning to fight and bomb, they'd just fucking turn their planes off. Similarly, I can tell you, it's not a big secret. In fact, quite a lot of people know this shit. Britain's nuclear deterrent is built around the Trident missile, which is what our submarines have. If we want to launch them, we have to ask Donald Trump for permission. So, right at this very moment, these nuclear fucking missiles are worse than fucking useless. Because we can't use them without Donald Trump say so. So I mean, it's not going to happen, but if we were embroiled in some sort of World War III scenario, they would be worse than a chocolate poker. War. Anyway, speaking of the war, so here's what the papers say. Let's do what the papers say. The big headline here is that UK is to coach Ukraine before key peace talks that are taking place in Saudi Arabia. That well-known bastion of human rights, civil liberties, and peaceful democratic rule. Oh, no, it's none of those things. So anyway, I think this headline, instead of saying UK coaches Ukraine before key peace talks, should say UK grooms Ukraine for abuse before surrender talks. Speaking of nuclear war, by the way, if anybody's afraid of nuclear war, let me put your mind at rest. The last time nuclear weapons were used in war, we exploded 2 in Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Since then, during a period of atmospheric testing, human beings exploded over 500 nuclear weapons in the atmosphere of planet Earth. Hey, chemtrailers, there's something for you to get worked up about. Still not wearing a mask? Go figure. So over 500 nuclear weapons have already been exploded in the atmosphere on Earth, and I haven't seen many three-headed people or even fish. In fact, the background radiation on Earth has gone up, but not enough to mutate your children. Certainly not as much as phthalates have done for the gender dysphoria of Earth, but that's another story. It would take about 50 nukes to wipe out every major center of population on this planet. 50. We've exploded over 500. It would only take 50 to destroy our civilization, and they would barely add a nanosievert to the level of radiation on planet Earth. So don't worry about nuclear war, because even if it happens, it's not that much of a problem for the flora and fauna. Big trouble for Big Macs, McDonald's, Deliveroo, and Uber, because it's hard to run those kind of businesses when most of your customers are ash on the floor. Speaking of the end of the world, here's a story about climate change from blah 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 Alan Titchmarsh, who's a gardener, famous one in the UK. He says that people shouldn't eat avocados. And he says we shouldn't eat avocados because most of them sold in the UK are grown where the rainforest has been felled at an alarming rate to accommodate them, he wrote. They need huge, scarce supplies of water and are there and then shipped to our shores, often more than 5,000 miles across an ocean, for breakfast. He said, there's a lot to be said for cornflakes, Weetabix, and Shreddies. Because, of course, Alan, nowhere was ever deforested to clear vast areas of fucking wheat-growing prairie. Also, he says here, the avocado has a carbon footprint 5 times higher than a banana and requires 320 liters of water. Because I'm a pedantic cunt, I had to Google that. I used AI to check, and it turns out he hasn't given an SI unit, which I find really annoying because it's meaningless. If you just say requires 320 liters of water, what, for breakfast? What does an avocado require 320 liters of breakfast for? A year? A plant? A fruit? What? He doesn't give an SI unit at all of any kind, so it's meaningless. But if you like bananas, that's 7,000 liters of water a year per plant. And if you like apples, it's 800 liters per tree. So we should avoid avocados, says Titchmarsh, because that'll help stop spewing fucking climate changing gases into the atmosphere. Oh no, it won't, will it? It's fucking pointless middle class sob story. Speaking of middle class sob stories, check this out. Crufts made the front page. Right, this is the caption contest. If you'd like to, in your own time, add a caption to the comment section for this, I'll get you started. I think the dog's saying there's no fucking food in that, or take the lid off. I'll piss in it. Speaking, I don't know why Crufts. This is a dog show. I don't know why Crufts is on the front page when we're staring down the barrel of World War III, according to Donald Trump. But there you go. Some people say that dogs are like their owners. Hello there, ass 16901. How do I keep up the cheery persona? Drugs. Honestly, don't worry about anything. I mean, life is far too short to worry about anything, really. At least it is for me. So yeah, dogs, they say, are like their owners. My recent experience of comments on my videos made me think that maybe comments are like the people who make them. Like, imagine a comment is a dog. Some comments are like assistance dogs, like blind dogs. They're really useful. Somebody told me recently that Russia has, in fact, paid back all its debt, and I posted a correction and thanked them. That was like a guide dog, helping you to, to be more, correct, factual, and straight up. I like that sort of thing. Those kind of comments, like guide dogs. Some comments, like their owners, are silly and fluffy and friendly, and they make you laugh, like an Irish red setter. Oh, what a pithy wit. And some comments are like turds. They're small and brown, and they're like shit. I think you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, on with the paper. There's another one here. It says, this is a Scottish edition of the Times. It says, the police are calling for working from home and school expulsions to stop, to cut crime, because there's a lot of crime in Scotland. We have a lot of feral youths running about, bricking cars and setting fire to recycle bins. We do. Literally, that's happening round the corner from my house. I don't think working from home and school expulsions are going to help. I think what we should do is we should send the parents to jail for the crimes their children commit. I know, it seems hard, but I'm pretty sure it'll fucking work. If your child, say, under the age of 16, beyond the limit of criminal responsibility, commits a crime, you should have to do the punishment, whatever that might be. I'm pretty sure that'll cut crime real fucking quick. The Labour Party. It is what it says on the tin. The Labour Party. Here's some news from the Labour Party. Thanks, man. Thank you. Properly enjoyed what you've been doing. Thanks for watching. The Labour Party in the UK, it's called the Labour Party. I've never understood this. They're the party of working people, and they called themselves Work. Like, they're not going to set you free, right? We live in a medieval feudal society where the aristocracy own all the fucking land, and we're like their fucking livestock. And the antidote, the opposition, and our saviors to this are going to get us longer tea breaks and a slightly higher minimum wage. Whoa, comrade, fucking yes, great idea. Oh, I'm right behind that. Not. So anyway, dozens of Labour MPs insist there is a moral duty to reform the welfare bill. What they want to do is reintroduce the workhouse. Literally, I'm not even joking. It's fucking industrial slavery. Basically, what they're saying is nobody in this country, the UK, gets any money or any fucking assistance with anything unless they work. Possibly in a 0 hours contract for Amazon, helping fuck the planet over. Then they can afford, an avocado for breakfast. It's the fucking workhouse. Now, if you think I'm some sort of free ride, lazy fucking anarchist socialist, I'm not. I'm one of Thatcher's children. I've been self-employed for 40 years. I pay all my bills out of my own efforts, all of them. And feel that. Yeah, I buy all my own drugs, like James Brown. I used to say to my children, it's okay to do drugs as long as you buy them yourself and you still make the gig. And so, yeah, I'm not, saying that people in this country should receive benefits and sit about doing fuck all. I'm actually against benefits. But strangely, I'm also against a few wealthy families owning the entire place and treating us like they're fucking livestock. And if you've ever been to Britain or you live in Britain, you might know that this is true. If you buy a piece of land in Britain, you're not allowed to live on it because that would allow you to escape the fucking livestockness that they have in mind for you, your children, and your children's children. Literally, livestock. Labour, comrade, longer tea breaks, sunnier weather. There's a story here about King Charles, speaking of the aristocracy. He produced a playlist, which he says, he recorded a radio show, and he says it's his personal playlist, right? Now, it's not. It's a piece of, PR. But let's just have a look at some of the things on the playlist. Number one on King Charles' playlist that he says is his personal playlist, Bob Marley, Could You Be Loved? Oh, dear. There's also Beyonce, there's a whole host of woke shit here. Honestly, there is. It's just pish. But I thought I'd like to share with you the photograph of him with Beyonce. Hopefully that will come through. Oh, no, it's reversed. That's Beyonce and King Charles. So because it's reversed, I'll have to read you the caption. King Charles is saying, have you met my brother? And Beyonce saying, is that him over there with my daughter? What else have we got? Right. Kemi Badenoch, who's leader of the opposition. If you don't know, Kemi Badenoch is a black woman, and she's rabidly conservative and Tory, and anti-immigration and pro all kinds of Tory things. She's also got a bit of a thing about the BBC. She says the BBC Arabic channel is a platform for hate and terror. She said it's full of appalling anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli bias. Kemi, it's the fucking Arab channel. The fucking Arabs and Jews. They've been fighting for 900 years. If you gave Arabs a channel to express themselves, what do you fucking think would be on it? Really, what do you think would be on it in the free world? Eh? Hey, die, die, da, dee, da, die, die. Oh, no, not that. I'm pretty sure the Arabs have got some pretty bad things to say about the Jews. And if this were the free world, they'd have a channel where they could say that shit. Meanwhile, the London School of Economics defends free speech over a launch of a book about Hamas. Now, this is a book about Hamas. It's not by Hamas. This isn't a book that Hamas wrote. This is a book about Hamas. You could call it history or journalism. And the London School of Economics is having to defend free speech, against claims that they are pro-Hamas by acknowledging historically that there is something called Hamas. It does exist, and this is what they're like. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Arabs or Jews. Fuck you both. I should say Muslims and Jews. Arabs I have no problem with. Muslims, fuck you. Jews, fuck you too. Christians as well. If you're a Christian and you tuned into this by mistake, all religion is evil. You're retarded, ignorant, moron, idiot fucks. But that's another story. So the Arab Channel, yes, ought to be anti-Semitic, shouldn't it? I mean, really, shouldn't it be? Yes, it's literally a military propaganda outfit. Totally. State-sponsored news, information, education, and entertainment. I'm not a fan. Mm. The war. Back to the war. SNP stance on nuclear weapons dangerously naive, says somebody. Scotland could drop nuclear weapons and still join the NATO military alliance, said an SNP spokesman. Seems unlikely. But, that's a double-page spread about the war. I'm not bothered by the war, really, because I happen to know we're fucked. Anybody who watches my stuff on a regular basis will know that I believe that climate change is now irreversible. It may take 1,000 years, but large mammals are going away, and you're a large mammal. So, smoke them while you've got them. Enjoy it while you can. Here's a story about Liz Truss, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain. And she's wearing a MAGA hat, right? And she's in America. I fucking don't know. I struggled to find something to say about Liz Truss in America until I read this paragraph. Why is Liz Truss in America? Perhaps it's because of the finances. She was paid £67,000 for a single speech at several US engagements, including the Heritage Foundation, which is called to root out the deep state. Root out the deep state. Now, I'm broadly in favor of about 7 billion people going away. I am. So, I'm not really bothered by the deep state fiddling the books. Yeah, fungi are good for a few shrooms will see you right as well. Somebody told me recently that the global elite were a big problem and that the Trump and Musk regime were going to deal with the global elite. And there's been a great deal of hoo-ha in America about celebrating how Trump represents the battle against the global elite. Fuck that. Fucking hell. Who's going to serve me coffee if we dismantle the global elite? Really? Who's going to serve me coffee? Who's going to pick the coffee? How am I going to pump gas in my van if we get rid of the global elite? This is like a Monty Python sketch. What have the global elite ever done for us? Well, blah, blah, blah. But let me ask you another question on the back of Donald Trump's speech to Congress. In Donald Trump's speech to Congress, he made a number of claims, a long list of them, in fact. They were all factually incorrect. On such a huge scale, you wouldn't need to fact check Donald Trump's speech to know that it was all factually incorrect, because it was bullshit nearly from the get-go. But two of my favorite ones are 8 million for transgender mice, which were transgenic mice, which had been altered so that drugs intended to treat humans could be tested on them more efficaciously. And the other one was about inflation, which, by the way, is skyrocketing in America. And he claimed inflation had never been higher than under the Biden regime, which, if you ever lived through the Depression or if you have even a scant knowledge of history of America, is total pish. So in terms of the global elite versus the global dum-dum, right? I'm for the global elite. I'm also for one world government. Why? Because we'll know where to go and string them up by a lamppost. Okay, well, that's about it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, today is the worst day since yesterday, and tomorrow will suck even more. So all that stuff you were going to do, I'd get on with it. Thanks for watching.